Hello, good night, good night. Please join me. I'm waiting for you to join me today. I have good news. Also have updates on, what's going on in immigration. But I have great news today, and I am sharing this news because I want you to know that there's relief out there. So in one day, got good news today. In one day, we got multiple work permits and one 10-year green card, VAWA 10-year green card without an interview. So guys, this is happening now. It's happening in real time. And this is why I'm out here putting this information out there, because I want everybody to understand that there is relief out there that you should know about, and you need to act on it. If you qualify to be able to get your papers, now is the time. Today we got 4 5-year work permits and one 10-year green card. And in this particular case with our client that got the 10-year green card through VAWA, this client found me through word of mouth. This client found me through someone else talking about what we have been doing to help individuals. And in her case, she thought she did not qualify for VAWA because there's these misconceptions about what abuse is, and also about the power dynamic. The fact that you're here without your papers. A lot of people think because you're here without your papers, there's no solution for you if your spouse does not want to apply for you. But I'm telling you right now that this client put her faith in us, and I was confident. She was nervous, but moved forward knowing this was the option for her. She now has her 10-year green card, which is very meaningful during a time that is uncertain for so many. So please listen to the information that I'm putting out there. If you can connect or relate to that information in any way, it's time to give us a call, because it means that there may be an option for you. So go ahead and do that. I'm very excited today about the multiple reliefs that we got today for our clients. And it shows you that this relief is because a lot of people are out there saying, which is, as an attorney, I know that's not true, but this is the social proof here. A lot of people are out here saying there's VAWA has stopped, there's no VAWA, there's no T, there's no asylum. Don't apply, because if you apply, you're gonna put yourself at risk. Actually, you're more vulnerable not applying, not having any forms of relief available, not showing that you have any forms of relief available. You could be detained, caught up in immigration enforcement without showing that you have, without any proof that you have relief. So take it from me. It's happening, guys. It's happening in real time. Now, as I was about to come on here, there's another thing that came up. And that is, hi there. Um, no, there was another thing that came up. And that is the Supreme Court, unfortunately, has said that the Trump administration can move forward with the alien enemies, with deporting people under the Alien Enemies Act. But here's the caveat, here's the good news. The court has stated that these individuals that are subject to the Aliens Enemies Act. So they're mainly targeting immigrants from Venezuela. They're the main people. So they're claiming these individuals are gang members, and unfortunately, innocent Venezuelans are being caught up, maybe because they have certain tattoos. Or they're finding these justifications to detain them and then deport them to El Salvador as gang members. But however, what the Supreme Court has said, which is different from what the Trump administration had been doing, is they must have due process. So the reason the Supreme Court found that, basically dismissed this action, is because the Supreme Court found that, and this is procedural type of this is a procedural type of decision. You're really supposed to apply, submit a petition, file a court filing in certain locations called venues. And it's maybe dependent on where they're suing the person or where the immigrant resides. And so the court found that the filing was filed in Washington, D.C., yet the detainees were located in Texas. And so the Supreme Court said that the venue was inappropriate. And because of that, they basically dismissed the case. But they did state in the opinion that the that the that they must have due process. The only thing is that if they file to challenge the detention and removal, they must file it where the immigrant is residing or detained. So they must file it based on correct venue. So, but they did say that there must be due process, which means because what they were doing was taking people, putting them on planes and sending them out, there must be a hearing. Okay, so this is just breaking news. So you're hearing it right now as it's coming out. So that's good news and bad news. But however, that is one of the main issues here is they must have due process, and the Supreme Court agrees with that. They must have due process before they are subjected to removal. All right, so there is hope, guys. Keep your hope alive. That is the driving force of any progress. Is first hope, then determination, then action. Okay, so just know that there are solutions available. There are legal solutions available, and that's exactly what we help our clients with, is to pursue solutions that can work to get relief here. So you need to call us, and you can follow through with an initial evaluation. We are open 24/7 for calls, for DMs, for messages. Go ahead and do that. You can get a head start, and then during office hours, you'll get a call to do the actual free initial evaluation that tells us whether there is something we can help you with, and then we do a more in-depth evaluation with the attorneys to make sure that we identify, confirm you qualify, and also make sure that we have a strategy in place to move forward for you. I can't stress how important that is right now, to be able to understand your options going forward. All right, so now that I have talked about the good news here at the office, and I just want to confirm for you that yes, things are still moving forward. Clients are still getting protected. Clients are still getting their green cards and their work permits. So please note that and take action to protect yourself. Now I'm going to answer questions. So today, I never start with Instagram. I want to be able to start with Instagram, and then I'm going to move across platforms. So please, what you can do, you're going to see me looking away. It doesn't mean I'm completely ignoring you. It means that I'm going to start with Instagram, then I'm going to go to YouTube, then TikTok. So just bear with me and have some patience, and then I'll definitely get to you. But we can all learn from the questions that I'm answering, and I always get great questions. So put your questions in the comments on Instagram so that I can answer your questions. Hi there, Bella Paris. Good night. Thanks for joining me here. Good news Monday. Yes, 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 it's good news. Hope is alive, but not only hope, but um, we have protection that's reality. This becomes real for our clients who have dreams and goals to continue to contribute to the United States. And for example, with our client that got her 10-year green card today, that is the reality for her after many years of being here with all her papers, suffering, thinking she did not have any options. What's the current priority date for VAWA application? March 2022. So I'd have to now keep in mind if you're the spouse of a US citizen, the parent of a US citizen, or the son or daughter of a US citizen who's under 21 and unmarried, they don't really go by priority dates for the VAWA. But if you're the spouse of a permanent resident, you're the child of a permanent resident, then yes, we do have to look at the priority date to be able to apply the work permit for the work permit and the adjustment of status. That's why I say if you qualify for VAWA, you need to treat this with urgency. If you are the spouse or the child of a permanent resident and you're being mistreated by them, you need to move forward with your own process in confidence. You relate to what I'm saying at all, it's time to get in touch with us. I can't stress how important it is to file ASAP. The reason being, applying for when you apply for VAWA as a spouse or the child of a permanent resident, you have to go on a wait list. So the longer you wait to apply is further down on the wait list you are. It's it's based on the priority date. I call it a wait list. Um, it's going to take a couple months. It could take 3 to 6 months. Right now, I'm noticing about 3 to 6 months, between 3 to 6 months for this to change for our clients to get to the top of the wait list so that we can apply for their work permit and adjustment of status. So this is where you definitely need to make sure that you jump on it ASAP. And if you relate to it, your spouse, permanent resident spouse, who's not a U.S. citizen, your or you're the son or daughter of a permanent resident, they're mistreating you. And you're either going through the green card process or you want to switch to your own process because they're mistreating you, then this is going to be for you, but you need to jump on it because there's a wait list and you want to be able to get further up on the wait list faster. Is it true that USCIS has stopped processing adjustment of status applications? No, 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 no. We just got our green card for one of our clients. We've gotten 4 work permits today alone. They're all through VAWA's adjustment of status. So absolutely not. No. TPS application is 258 days since it's been under review. So yeah, once it's under review, you definitely need to get in touch with them and just to figure out if there's anything they need, make sure nothing got lost in the mail. Never give up hope, even if it's at a small cost. It's for yourself. That's so true. Absolutely. And I practice that even in my own personal life. I can tell you, you have to act on faith, you have to act on hope, and most of all, you have to invest in yourself um, first. So, absolutely. How soon after doing your biometrics do you get your work permit and social? So it may be it depends. Marriage based, employment based, you're looking at 3 to 6 months. VAWA 6 to 12 months, but we're getting it on a shorter timeline. Those work permits, I would say they're within the VAWAs are within the 3 to 6 months right now for our work permits based on the processing times that we've experienced. So that's great. It's actually reduced a bit. So that's also good. Good night. Is there any more info about SB4C? So I think SB4C is the immigration law. So thank you for reminding me. That's also good news. So I believe a federal court has put a hold on the law in Florida that criminalizes certain undocumented immigrants. So if an immigrant came through the country, came through the border, came by boat, or came into the US uninspected, then they said that if they were caught coming into the state, and that could be interpreted as by plane, by vehicle, they're coming into the state, they would be subjected to 9 months of imprisonment, and they would be charged with a misdemeanor crime. So that is on hold, and the reason is on there are multiple reasons why the court has found that it has to be on hold. So the main concern, their main concerns here is that immigration is usually not categorized as criminal. And here the state is taking the step to impose stricter penalties than federal law. So we have to see what happens next, but that's good news. But what I would say to you here is it doesn't mean has stopped. It doesn't mean ICE has stopped arresting people in Florida. It doesn't mean that the police have stopped working with ICE to be able to arrest or detain undocumented immigrants, because that is not criminal. That process is not criminal. It means they're going to put you through removal proceedings and detention and then removal proceedings. It feels like it's criminal because of the nature of it, but on the books, it's not criminal. But what Florida was trying to do was trying to criminalize being an undocumented immigrant. That leg of it is put on hold right now. How long does it take to adjust the status in 2025? So it depends. It depends on what kind of case, who's applying for you, so who's petitioning for you, or how do you qualify for adjustment of status? What category immigrant do you fall in? So there are a number of factors. If it's marriage based, I would say a year right now. And keep in mind, now we have to do interviews again. So all marriage based green card interviews, they will have interviews. And here's another thing I want to let you know. And the reason I say this is because I want everybody to be successful, and I don't want anybody walking into something they're not prepared for. Marriage-based green cards are going to get harder. Being married to a US citizen is not going to, or a permanent resident, and be careful about being married to a permanent resident. But it's not going to be easy. Not just showing a marriage certificate does not mean you are, we all wish that would be the case, because the process is stressful already. Getting married, adjustment to a married life, and moving forward and settling with your spouse is a hard challenge, to do that adjustment, much less now worrying about an immigration process. But it is what it is. And if not now, it's harder, because they're going to be doing more screening. They're going to be collecting social media accounts. So they have a whole leg of the process that's going to involve reviewing social media accounts. They're going to be doing a lot of fraud detection. So a marriage-based green card process can turn into a very serious misunderstanding with immigration officers very quickly. You would be surprised how things can escalate. So you want to make sure that you are maximizing your chances in the marriage-based process. And we are very good at that. We have 100% approval rating for our clients who go through the marriage-based process and complete it. And we get through because we are so focused. While I can never guarantee processing times, because we're so focused on presenting quality applications to the USCIS, we're able to show, we're able to get interviews quickly because everything is there for the officer to review and move it forward very quickly. It's so the scrutiny is going to be intense. Interviews may be very intense. So don't take it for granted. Don't go to your corner store, um, you know, immigration person that says they know how to fill out forms. That person needs to be certified or at a minimum. But if you really want to ensure that you are covering your bases legally, you need to make sure you have your attorney. Okay, so let's, how long does I-130 take to be approved? I'd say 9 to 12 months. Trying to contact you. So you can DM us or give us a call directly. The number is going across the screen on YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube, Facebook, and I believe Twitch. So go ahead and look at that number going across the screen, call the number. We have our receptions answered 24/7, and then we can do the initial evaluation during office hours. But you can get a head start, so they can call you as soon as they're in office. How long after the biometrics is done for T visa does one get their work permit? So what's happening now is we're getting bona fide determination letters in about 2 to 3 months. And those are really important because that is what truly offers our clients protection from any enforcement action. And then it's 3 to 6 months after that they would then process for the work permit. So we're still waiting for a lot of the work permits, but it gives us peace of mind, gives our clients peace of mind to know that they have this bona fide determination, because while they're waiting for the rest of the process to go forward, they have protection. And right now, that goes a long way, a very long way. I applied for adjustment of status for my parents inside USA 6 months ago. How long is it taking to get approved? So I'd say a year, 10 months to a year for parents. After biometrics, what's next with T? So bona fide determination, which offers protection, work permit, and or final decision, and then work permit. After T approved, will my parents outside the United States get approved? Do they must come to the United States to stay with me? So, no, parents, if you are under 21 and if you're under 21, your parents can be petitioned as derivatives. That means they can apply along with you. So when you get approved, they process the parent. But if you are 21 or over, then your parents don't automatically qualify unless, and that goes through a decision process in itself, you can show that their parents are facing threats too, like the trafficker or the trafficker or the employer has threatened to harm your parents as well. Then in that case, you can include them. And then afterwards, that they're not allowed to come into the US until their visa is approved at the embassy. Oh, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. How long does it take for a green card application if I'm married to someone in the military? So it takes about the same amount of time, but if you usually that warrants special consideration, but you have to raise it with them. You have to raise it with immigration, point out that they are in military status, and then if you justify the reasons, if they're being deployed, and you need to sort through the immigration process more quickly, or there's any other type of military related concerns that warrant an expedite, you may be able to request that they push your process forward faster. What's the cost of petition for a child outside the US, along with filing adjustment of status? So we have to evaluate your case first. So give us a call, then we can determine whether your child can be included. Thanks so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. How long does it take I-130 married to U.S. citizen consular processing? Priority PD, priority March 24th. So I would say a year, 9 months to a year. At one time, our client, we did get it expedited, and it took 4 months. But I'll say regular process, 9 months to a year. I'm a green card holder for 20 years. Can my son, who is in the military, apply for my citizenship? So if you're a green card holder for 20 years, you should be able to qualify for citizenship on your own. So you wouldn't need your son to apply for it. So this is where I'm a little confused. This is where, though, it's important for you, because it sounds like you may have a special situation. Get in touch with us. We do citizenships, and we can help you to sort through that. So get on it ASAP. Good evening, ma'am. What is the overall timeline for a VAWA case? So I would say the decision so VAWA is a multi-step process. So if you're the spouse, the parent of a U.S. citizen, or the son or daughter under 21 and unmarried of a U.S. citizen, the timeline is you apply, you get your prima facie letter within about 2 to 3 months after biometrics. Then you get your work permit in 6 to 12 months. And then after that, a decision is made on the VAWA stage first. That means you get protection, you get deferred action, meaning they give you that protection, give you another work permit at about the 2.5 to 3 year mark. And then at about the 3 year mark, they will process you for your green card right after your VAWA is approved. I am a U.S. citizen, 20 years married, never did anything because we seen a lawyer a long time ago. He suggested wait something come out for previous presidents. My husband's work permit expired. Yeah, so in this case, it sounds like it may be a situation where your spouse may have crossed the border without permission, and so adjustment of status is not an option. So this is where I say definitely give us a call, and let's sort through it. Let's sort through your facts to determine whether there are any alternatives for protection. T status process time increase. So I am seeing it increase. Yes. So it's going right now, I would say it's more in the 18-month timeline, but they are providing bona fide determination letters that put a hold on any removal proceedings and stops any removal proceedings from being initiated for certain individuals. And so that is helping to reassure individuals during the process, and then they are in the process of also processing work permits. How long does it take for a VAWA to be approved? So I answered that. Have you had any have any clients gotten an EAD from a T visa? So yes, absolutely. So those are being approved. Absolutely. So upon approval of the T visa, it's automatic. And then for derivatives, we apply for their work permit. So they get their work permit when they're approved. What's the time frame after getting BFD to get EAD with a T visa? I've been waiting for 2 months since I got it. So yeah, we're estimating right now that it could take another 3 to 6 months to process the work permit. So they're a little slow on the work permits after the bona fide. I'm watching from Fiji Islands. Is it possible to apply for a returning resident visa back to the US? It's been over 15 years, but my daughter is a US citizen. She has been in the US for past 3 years. I have evidence and reason to why I lived outside the US. It may be possible, but we would have to do an individual evaluation to just evaluate your facts and the feasibility of a returning resident process. Thanks so much. I'm Phoenix. I appreciate that so much, that encouragement. What about if someone's VAWA case is outside the time span? It's been 4 years now, still no response. What's next? So that's where you definitely, if and keep in mind that based on processing times, it might be 4 years. We're seeing 3 years, but the USCIS goes by their processing times, and their longest processing cases may be 4 years. But if it goes beyond their average processing time, you can actually submit a case inquiry. In our case, we would contact the VAWA unit just to find out if everything is on track, and ask questions about the status. What is after paying the attorney fees? Are there any fees associated with T status or the T visa? So keep in mind that our fees are flat fees, and after you pay the flat fee, there are no other. I mean, it depends on the case and depends on what's needed, but we go based off of flat fees mainly. What's the difference between T status and T visa? You'll hear me say it interchangeably. Nothing. T visa usually means the person is outside of the US. The problem is, to apply for the T visa, you can't be outside of the country. You have to show presence in the US. But it's called T stat. It's really legally T status is the more appropriate word, but T visa is also a way to refer to it. Good night. I call the office and someone say you don't deal. So um, when you do the initial evaluation, we focus on ways that we can help you. And if you don't fall within those ways, then you wouldn't qualify. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to take your money and then tell you that we can't help you. We want to first determine that we can help you. And once we determine that we can help you, then we schedule an interview with our attorneys to be able to get down to the nitty gritty, understand strategy for your case, and move forward. So if you call the office and they go through this evaluation with you and you don't qualify, it doesn't mean you don't qualify for anything. It means that you don't qualify for an option that we can help you with. So it's very important you understand that difference. And we don't want to waste your time and money. We don't want to lead you on. We want to be able to help you without wasting any of your time or money. All right. So hi there, Damien. Good evening. How do you get affiliated with VAWA? Give us a call. We can determine whether you qualify in an initial evaluation and then get started. All right. I have an H4 visa. Should I be concerned when traveling to visit my wife? So traveling on a visa right now is going to be very nerve-wracking because they are going to be doing a lot. They're going to scrutinize. So just make sure your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted before traveling. Can a denied VAWA be approved after a motion? Sorry if I missed the answer. Can a denied VAWA be approved? Yes, so you can appeal it, and it may be approved after it's reviewed. Is someone on VAWA and they got arrested for assault and battery, can that affect their VAWA case? Yes, a VAWA can be revoked. And if you're applying for adjustment of status, you may need to know apply for a waiver if you are convicted. So it's very important. Criminal record equals get legal assistance and advice ASAP. And usually here at the law firm, once we determine there's a criminal record involved, it actually takes us to do a more detailed review than even the consultation. We have to then, the person has to retain us, and then we do a detailed review of the criminal record, the state it happened in, whether it renders you deportable or inadmissible, and then we're able to advise on the immigration consequences and how to move forward. If you have a criminal record, the safe space to call would be ours or an immigration attorney that can advise you on what the effect is and how to move forward. Can a green card holder travel internationally right now if any criminal was before green card approval? Great question. I would say be very, very careful. Make sure you contact an attorney. You can always contact us to get legal advice. Just because we would like to understand the facts. We need to understand the facts to be able to advise about your risk level. But what I would say on a whole is be very conservative about your travel, because every time you travel, you are opening up yourself to risk of scrutiny and potential problems. We are seeing green card holders being arrested for simple things like protected speech and First Amendment activities like protests. So nobody is safe right now. Hey, I have, let me see, can I request expedite to get carded green card as there were a typo made by the USCIS? You can certainly request an expedite based on USCIS error. Absolutely. Is someone on VAWA, they got arrested? So yes, you need to get legal advice ASAP. Be careful about travel. Can't say that enough. If a parent had a deportation order but wasn't able to leave due to a kid's health, can they appeal? They can have the deportation order reopened, but usually you have to have a basis to have the case reopened. Can a denied VAWA be approved after a motion? Yes, if it's appealed. Asylee granted applying for a green card, those are the people whose green cards are being placed on hold. Any cases of permanent residents with no criminal record being denied entry into the US. So we have individuals who are being arrested, no criminal record. They just protested, which is a First Amendment protected right, and they are detained. So we haven't heard, and I believe we did see that in the news about the man from, I can't remember which country, a European country, who was locked up, and he also claimed to be tortured. I don't believe there was a criminal record. I'd have to check that again, but be very careful. Whether you have a criminal record or not, I would say if you have a criminal record, you're definitely at an increased risk. For a medical emergency, how fast can a visa be processed for someone to come to the US from Romania? So it depends on how fast you can get the interview, and then usually the officers make it on the decision on the same day. I was illegal in the US for more than a year and re-entered illegally again. Can my US citizen wife? So definitely get in touch with us. We'd have to talk to you to understand the facts here. I didn't see the rest of the question. But when you are in the US illegally, you've been here for over 1 year, then you leave and then you return again, that is a permanent bar. And there are few ways to overcome that bar. Very few ways. The T visa may be one of this if you qualify for the T visa. A VAWA may, if under certain circumstances, but we would have to talk to you to find out if you fit within one of those. What evidence for VAWA? So You have to show evidence of the mistreatment, and keep in mind, evidence doesn't mean you have to, show bruises, show pictures, show police report. You must have a solid declaration, a statement, a detailed statement that supports a showing of mistreatment or abuse. So that is going to be the essential evidence for VAWA. I passed N400, but decision pending for I-751. Now I-751 show ready to schedule interview. So yeah, in this case, I'm not sure what happened procedurally. They may schedule another interview for the I-751. It sounded like you had a 2-in-1, but I don't know if they're gonna schedule another one. Can I deny Santa that? This is the same question over and over. So I'm trying to find, if a parent had a deportation order, so I answer that. Okay. All right. So at what age can your child file for his or her parent in America? 21. So they have to be 21 or older to be able to apply. Is it safe to travel on the travel document at this moment? I would say no. Definitely not. It's unpredictable right now on who is being targeted. And remember, I don't know the way you entered. I don't know what your circumstances are, but it's certainly definitely very risky to travel on the travel document. How long does it take for you to do a petition and then transfer to getting the green card? And while you're doing the green card, how long would it take to get a travel document and work permit? I'm not sure what you mean by filing the petition. To do the petition, then transfer to getting a green card. It's usually all one type of process. So I don't know. It depends. If you're talking about marriage or family base, I would say the entire process takes a year. And then work permit comes in and travel document comes 3 to 6 months. When entered the US when I was 12, but never have a green card. All I have been getting is TPS, and I'm looking to help to get my card. Give us a call and let's talk to see what your options are. You really do have to qualify for the green card, and we can determine whether you qualify and what options are available to you. Hi, good night. I came on a fiance visa and I didn't go back. I'm here for 10 years now. Can anything happen for me about getting a visa? So if you didn't get married to your spouse, your fiance, you didn't get married to your fiance, it's very hard. It is really one of those sticky situations where if you overstay a fiance visa, they don't allow you to do adjustment of status in any other case, except if you qualify through um, if you qualify through the T visa is one. If you were the victim of trafficking, and I say start with this. Did this fiance take you here and abuse you? If that's the case, we want to talk to you to see if that could be a way to overcome it. The thing with the T visa is once you get the T visa, then you can go on a path to get your green card. Hi, I just want to know if I have been here in the US for 17 years. when I was 12 but don't have green card, what should I do now? I'm older. Get in touch with us and let's see what options are available. And here's something to keep in mind. If you are detained and you've been here for a very long time, there is what's called cancellation of removal, that if you go before a judge can get you your removal canceled, and instead you get your green card. You go through the green card process. So guys, that is just to remind you that even if you're detained, you have a fighting chance. But I would say don't wait until then. Look at your options before anything like that happens. Is is the interview required when applying for adjustment of status for parents inside the United States? So we're gonna have more interviews scheduled than not. So yeah, we're seeing interviews for parent adjustment of statuses as well. So get ready and don't underestimate your interview, no matter how cut and dry you think it is. Oh, this is a parent child relationship, no big deal. Never, because even if they're not looking at your clearly proven relationship as parent child, they may be looking at other issues. Make sure you know every single detail in your application, because they're going to go ask you about your application line by line. Misspeaking, making errors in your application, saying something to them that is contradictory from what's in your application can, as I said before, escalate pretty quickly. So just make sure that you are very ready for the interview. Let's see. My sister is being sponsored by my US citizen mom. She's over 21. She filed for in 2018. How much longer is the process? She's in Jamaica. So I would say 5 to 7 years. So I would say you should be seeing something come soon, but you should always refer to the priority date. Ask questions if you want. Ask a question. What happened for our renewal EAD? I applied for renewal this month. In your receipt notice, you should get an automatic extension. I've applied for my asylum and got my receipt notice and went for my biometrics. How long does it take to take for asylum interview? Will it take years? It possibly could take years. If someone recent got a green card through VAWA, was married to a US citizen, how long after that can the person apply for citizenship? 3 years. Is expedited request considered based on medical conditions for T visa? Absolutely. How much time will it take to get green card approved for T visa? So after you get your T visa, you either have to wait 3 years to apply, or you can get started on an early adjustment process and get a head start on it. It usually takes a year and a half to 2 years for the green card process. My daughter is part of my I-130 and she will turn 21 this year in June. Please advise if we should make a separate application. So I can't advise you because I'm not your attorney and I don't know your case. Please make sure you get legal advice. Your child may be protected under the CSPA, that's a Child Status Protection Act, just depending on the calculations, but also who is petitioning for you. If it's a US citizen spouse, your child is not included on the I-130. So there are certain things you need to make sure you have straight. So give us a call. This is where it's very, very important to have an attorney so there are no missteps. What is the overall timeline for VAWA? I think I answered that. Okay, so I answered that. And then let me just see if there are some few more questions on TikTok, and then I'm going to be heading out for the night. How much to file a work permit not online with USCIS for K1 visa holders? So give us a call. We don't quote fees here. We have to do an appointment with you. Got a verbal approval of I-485, I-130, but after a week, no update. What can I do? It's not confirmed until it's actually on paper. So just, hang tight. If it takes more than 120 days, then you can always reach out to them. How long does it take to remove an order of deportation? So you have to go through a reopen and terminate. And that can be, it depends on the courts and their timeline, but you could be looking at 6 months or more. Where did you get your bachelor's degree and Juris Doctor? So I got my bachelor's degree from Florida Atlantic University. I then went to the University of Minnesota Law School, and then I got my Juris Doctor there. That's what made me a lawyer. And then I got my master's in law in taxation at University of Florida. So I went through it. I definitely earned my stripes. Thank you so much for all the gifts. I appreciate you. Can you check your messages? Go ahead, we will respond. As an F1, can I still for asylum after 1 year in the US? If circumstances have changed, give us a call. We'll do a more detailed evaluation to see if that's feasible. Because you do have to show if something has changed in your country that now presents a danger, or there were extraordinary circumstances that stopped you from applying, then that 1 year deadline may be forgiven, but you have to apply within a reasonable time. Thanks so much, Alva. I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Alvaro, thank you so much. Once your I-130 and I-485 is approved, what next? So you're going to get the green card in the mail once you get the approval. So congrats. That sounds like you may have an approval. If you have a bona fide from T, can you get a real ID? It depends on the state. Contact the state to see if you're able to get that benefit. How about a personal HUB program and they have an extension to go to another state? So once you have a valid visa to go to the state, you're fine. And I don't know if you're talking about Florida. Husband has criminal record. Will it affect? It may. This is very important. You get legal advice so you understand what you're going into. Criminal issues it's a tricky one, and we have to take time to evaluate. I'm married for 3 years. I'm a resident. How long does it take to get my husband straight? You should be on it right now. So if you're a resident, though, you need to get citizenship. So give us a call and we can talk to see where you are and what the possibilities are. Is a removal of conditions interview different than the first? If both of you are there, your both spouses are there, it's gonna be different in that you have to present updated evidence. Don't forget that a lot of people submit old evidence. You need to submit all the evidence to show the bona fide within the most recent 2 years before the card expired. For medical emergencies, how fast can a visa be processed for someone to come from the US? It depends on the embassy timeline. You're very welcome, Jem. Okay, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for your time. The questions are always great. So I'm gonna leave you with this. We are helping to change our clients' lives. And we are being blessed. We were blessed today with multiple forms of relief: work permits, 5-year work permits, travel documents, a 10-year green card, a VAWA green card for a client that got it without the interview. So I don't count yourselves out. This is still being processed. VAWAs are still being processed. T visas are still being processed. It's time to take action while you have this relief available. We are seeing in the news, we're seeing that courts are finding that immigrants do need to have due process, which also means that you do have and deserve and you are entitled to a level of protection under the Constitution. So there are solutions all around, but you have to act. Hiding in the shadows, not taking action to protect yourself is just going to leave you vulnerable in the future. So take action, and that's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to help our clients succeed, and we are excited about that. So give us a call. Let's do the initial evaluation. You can call us, you can message us, DM us, and we'll answer. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, especially on YouTube, Getting the Green Card channel. That's how we get this information out, we share it. And that's how people are going to understand that there are solutions, and they'll understand information that empowers them through their immigration journey. So let's all play a role and help others to see this. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.